Which Mirandus building NFT is the best, and how do they compare to the others? Not much is known at this early pre-release stage of the game, but by the time it is known, the price spikes will have already happened. Are you a Town of the Duker who wants to know how to best spend the pooled funds? Maybe you're an old school Ethereum god who just fancies a spot of shopping. Or maybe you're just a new player and you've only got enough for one building. Regardless of who you are, I hope in today's episode you're going to enjoy my analysis and my thoughts on the tier list of all buildings compared. Yo, how's it going guys? Guitar Diablo, TDSU the D here. Welcome back to another video, and in today's episode, like the intro said, we're going to be looking at all of the existing Mirandus NFT buildings. Now, there is more buildings like the Outfitters and such that's going to be very, very high value, very, very rare. But for the purposes of today's video, we've only got these buildings at the moment, and if you're to watch it today and go out and buy something, there's no point in talking about the stuff that's not in the game yet. But do keep an eye for it. So let's just kick the thing off, and let me quickly say before we start that you can get the link to this tier maker in the description if you want to make your own video or make your own analysis of it. This is just my interpretation, and obviously none of this is financial advice, Kappa. You just have to go out and buy some stuff and have fun with the games. So number one is the archery stand, and I'm going to say like pretty much all of like the armor and archery, stuff like that is kind of going to be like, I feel like it feels like kind of low, man, for me. I'm not going to say it's like the worst of the worst, but I mean as a stand. So I guess I'm going to put a C for now, guys. We might revisit this one. And archery, I mean, yeah, C still. Like, I mean, I feel like I need to rate the things the same. Like, for example, if an archery stand is good, then an archery is going to be good, right? Or a grand archery is going to be pretty good, right? You know, just because like the archery is bigger and more expensive doesn't mean it's strictly better. It's to do with the use case. So, yeah, there you go. Armor shop, again, same thing. Armor stand. I'm just going to put them in the tier list. Same as the archery. I feel like they're both kind of like low tier. Like, you need armor, a couple of times you'll get some good gear upgrades, but eventually you'll be at the point where all the people with, big pockets in the game have pretty much got really good gear. Maybe. I mean, I really don't know, guys. I mean, we're super early here. Let's just say C for now. We might come back to it. Bakery. Now, this is a thing that I can imagine everyone's going to need every single day. I'm going to say the bakery is, I'm definitely thinking A tier. I mean, it's pretty damn awesome. Okay, the Baron. The Baron was one of the slowest and last ones to sell out in the actual store. Does that mean it's bad? Well, people certainly think it's bad. Is it bad though? What do you guys think would be more useful to have in like real life? A big piece of metal that you can wear on your body, or a Baron? I'm going to put it B tier, guys. The bread stand. Go with the bakery. The brewery. Now, call me crazy, guys, but I think this is S tier. Because, think about it. Yeah, okay, you might need bread at, certain intervals within the game. You might want to upgrade your armor, maybe it's a long-term goal, but pretty much one of the coolest things about Mirandus, the metaverse, and just like, socializing in these circles is just having the option to, sit down and have a beer in somebody's tavern, I guess. So I'm assuming that the breweries that are the ones making the beers are going to be pretty well off. Butcheries, kind of like the bread stand, I would probably say it's low A tier, but surely still maybe A or B tier. I mean, bread is like the most vital, component. Like, I'm fairly certain meat might be more of a luxury product. I'm going to say B then, because meat is still sustenance, but I would imagine that'd be more higher end, might be more expensive, might be a bit of a luxury good. Dairy, I mean, it's going to be A or B, right? Because all foodstuffs is kind of like insane. Let's just... I think bread and water is the most essentials. I might have to put bread stand up in S tier, man, honestly. It's kind of that insane. Right, a forge. I'm going to put a forge in pretty much... I'm definitely putting it in... It's going to be higher than like all of the individual shops, because whether you're doing an archery, a weapon stand, an armor stand, you're going to need a forge to make your weapons, right? So that to me makes it higher up rank. Forge B tier, calling it now. Grain stand, well that's bread, so let's get that up there. Wait, hold on, it's not actually. That's bakery and bread. Grain's kind of like, yeah, that's got to be B tier. Maybe A tier as well though. I mean, how do you make bread? You need grains. Okay, I'm putting them up there. Like if bread's really that essential, if I'm calling bread as the big thing, like if I'm saying this is the thing, then grain's got to be the thing as well. Like that's the thing that makes the thing, right? Grand armor shop. I'm just going to stick that in between the armors. Oh, here's an interesting one, guys. Grand cemetery. Well, you know, McCarthy, since like forever, has always said how epic these cemeteries are going to be. And see, to be quite honest, guys, I'm kind of buying the hype. Like I'm feeling like they are going to be pretty epic. Death is going to be a big deal. We've been told many times. We don't know much about the game, guys, but we do know that death's a big deal and cemeteries are an even bigger deal. So, based on that, and I mean, like the chances, you know, that you die, you know, if you're careless, is like really high, whereas the chances of you crafting like armor constantly is probably quite low. I guess I'm going to say like death is going to be up there with like life and bakery and stuff. I'm going to say like, it might even be S tier to be honest, but like given how expensive it is, like, oh, I still haven't taken into account price. I'm going to say A, guys. I'm just saying A. Like, there you go. That's it. Okay, a forge. This is a grand forge. That'll be in there. Maybe I should have like eliminated like duplicates, because the tier list is going to be absolutely huge. We've still got like a bunch of stuff to put in. Okay, let's see the next one. Grand granary. Well, again, granaries here, so grand granaries there. An inn. Right, this is interesting. An inn. Okay, so you don't have to rest in an inn, or like anywhere, like you just stay awake the whole time, but I think there's going to be some big punishments for that. So basically you need to do it, maybe it's like eating, maybe you die if you don't eat, I don't know. I'm going to definitely say A tier though, because like, maybe even S tier, guys. Like, I feel like you need a bed to sleep as much as you're going to need bread to eat, so I think we'll put it in A tier. The inn is definitely at least A tier. The grand stable. Now, all the stables have got to be pretty much... I'd say a stable would be better than like a bit of armour. But you need armour. I'm going to say, oh, gee, it's either B or C for me. I think I'm going to go C, guys. Because the stable is like a luxury good, you know what I mean? It's a horse. You can walk about the world. If you want a horse to ride about on, then great. So, the grand storehouse. Well, storage is going to be insane and like really important. And outside of like the landage, like the storehouses are the place where people are going to need to store their stuff. I think stuff is going to be like the biggest thing in the game. Like, yeah, okay, like, you know, you might need bread on a day. You could use an inn. But if you're going to do anything in the game, you're going to try and like save up some cool stuff, right? Storehouse S tier, guys. Like, think about it. If you go out and kill a monster, like you want to like store the stuff, you can't hold everything on your person. Storehouse. Grand tavern, guys. The taverns might be S tier, because You know what? I've said breweries are S tier. I'm going to stick with my guns here. It feels weird to say it, but I'm going to say the taverns are S tier as well. A grand temple. Now, I'll be quite honest with you. I don't really know how I feel about temples in the game. Like, I know that you'll get buffs and stuff, and I know that could be really important for, like, you know, vanquishing the, you know, the Minotaur King, the one of one Minotaur King that can only be killed once. But I don't know, guys. Like, I just don't know, man. Like, how good is it, like, just going into a temple and paid for buffs going to be? Like, you know, your first thing you're going to want to do is probably get, like, get yourself some armor, get yourself, like, a horse. And maybe once you've got all that, maybe you can get a temple. I really don't know why, guys, but I'm feeling D. I feel D for a temple. I'm just not that excited about a temple, guys. I'm sorry. For all you guys out there with temples, like, you know, love from the bottom of my heart. Maybe you guys will be richly rewarded. I think you also go to the temple to heal. Maybe you can't heal naturally. I mean, I thought maybe like resting and eating might heal. If that's the case, then like I guess it'll be B tier. But you know, if it's just buffs. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my gun. I'll say D, but like it'll probably end up being insane, and then I'll just eat my words. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Alright, weapon shop. Same as the other things. Hitching post. So kind of like not a stable, but really a place if you do have a horse to put your stuff, your horse down, or if you find like something wild that you can ride on outside, then maybe you can hitch it up before you go into the tavern or wherever you're going. I mean, put it this way, like, to use a hitching post you need to have a stable, and if a stable's D tier and that's the thing that gets the horses, this has got to be lower down. I mean, if you've got a horse, you're definitely going to need a place to, you know, hitch it up. Either in a stable or at a hitching post at some random place in the world, but ultimately, so hard to say, guys. It's gonna be such a like. I'm gonna have to say D tier, guys. It doesn't make any horses, it doesn't make any mounts. It's just a place to hold your mount, and that feels like a super like elite thing that few people will have. So yeah, archery, same with the other archeries. Let's just stick it in D tier. Armor shop, more D tier stuff. Bakery, again we talked about bakeries. A large barn, well, we spoke about barns already. I think B tier, like, I mean, butcheries are B tier, and, you know, the barns supply the butcheries, so logic follows through on that one. Brewery, again, just bigger version. Butchery, again, a lot of these are recycled. I should really have just, like, eliminated duplicates, but it's fine. So let's just put that in with the other butcheries. A large dairy, B tier. A large forge, B tier. Forges are B. A large granary, well, I'm going to say A tier because that's the thing that makes the bread. A large inn, same with the other inns. A large mill. Okay, granary, mill and bakery, all three need to make bread. I forgot about the mill. That's annoying. So a granary just holds grains then, and then the mill processes the grains, and then the bakery bakes the grains. Like, why is there an extra thing? Like, this feels like there's too many buildings to do this one thing, man. Like, does this have to be A tier as well then? Oh jeez, alright, I guess A tier. I guess a large potion shop. Now I know the potion shops are super hyped. I know a lot of people love potions, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and say that potion shops are... You know what, actually? I mean, McCarthy went... This was like their first building released. Just like the Cemeteries, McCarthy has mentioned that potion shops are going to be pretty badass, and it's going to be like another way to, like, I guess, a health potion heal up. Definitely, it's like, you know, expensive as hell and maybe quite niche, but... Ah, gosh, I don't know. Maybe they'll be like cheap, like easy potions that'll be good for like just even like people who just start the game fresh. I'm going to say A tier, guys, because like if McCarthy's hyping up the cemeteries and making a big deal out of them, like I'm going to assume that he knows what he's talking about with the potion shops. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Large stable, same as the stables, just put them into the C tier. A stonecraft shop. Now this is something that I don't think is out yet, or maybe some people who are running nodes might have got one of these so far. I don't know what stonecraft means. Like, what is that, like making like weapons and armor but out of stone, or maybe like ornaments, like little luxury goods. If it's luxury goods, I'm going to put it D tier because like super niche, like it's only for like the whales of the game. That doesn't mean you're not going to make a lot of money on it. It just means that it's going to probably take a while to get off the ground, and ultimately if you're one of the few people with a stonecraft shop, I don't really know what you can make out of stone, to be honest. Maybe you make buildings out of stone, but you need the NFTs to put the buildings down. Maybe like it can... I really don't know, guys. There's so much unknowns about this. Like, maybe if someone else knows a little bit more about stonecraft shops than me, they can chime in and make a better tier list. But I'm going to say D tier because it just seems like super luxury. Okay, a large storehouse. Again, storehouse, storage, pretty much the godliest thing in the game. I'm going to say S tier. A large tannery. Same as the stonehouse. I think it might be for like leather armor, but I think like everyone's thinking metal armor. Maybe leather armor's not as good. Could be like, you know, other things, like could be like maybe some fancy like leather working like pictures, or what would a tannery do, man? Like make like fancy rugs and stuff that people could put in their houses. I mean, like leather armor, if armor's C tier, then leather armor's got to be D tier. And if it's like a luxury good, like a stonecraft shop, like ornaments and like rugs and like fancy things that people have in their houses, like, you know, I don't know, some kind of like taxidermied deer skull or something, then yeah, it's never going to be S tier. Large tavern, same as a grand tavern, S tier. I think everyone's going to want to chill in the tavern. This is what makes the game the game. Like, if you go out and play an MMO today, like, the thing that'll suck is if, like, you don't have anyone to talk to, and it's not really feeling like an MMO. If taverns make the game feel like an MMO, they're, like, better than anything else in the game. Again, S tier. Large temple, going to go ahead and stick it in D tier with the other temple. Just the way I feel about temples. There you go. Weapon shop, again, stick it in with the other C tier weapon shops. A wood shop. I mean, I can see wood shops being more useful than like the tannery and the stonecraft, because wood is like super essential. So is like stone and stuff, but like I'm going to say C tier, because like I feel like wood is like the most fundamental one. Like the first thing you need, like before you need a fancy bit of stone or like a stone building, you need like a basic shack, like a wooden hut or something, or you know, like a wooden handle for your sword or axe or something. So I'm going to go with that. Majestic armor shop. Again, it's an armor shop regardless. It is the biggest one, it's the baddest one, but still, armor shop. Forge the Forge, going to be in the B tier. A Majestic Inn, regardless, an inn is an inn, A tier. Stable again, that's C tier. Temple, I'm saying D tier. Weapon shop, C tier. Meat stand, it's kind of like up there with the butcheries, so I'm going to say B tier. It might not be, we'll see how the game goes. Milking stand, I mean the meat stand, actually, you know what, the meat stand can only hold items. Maybe I need to change this to like all of them, but I'm going to put this one actually in C tier, because the butchery can take the meat and process it, I think. Can the meat stand do that? Is a meat stand like a literal like shelf that you just put the processed meat on, Like, see people with a meat stand, do they have to go to a butchery somewhere, buy the meat, and then take it back to their meat stand? And, you know, for example, somewhere that doesn't have a butchery, someone with a meat stand could set that up and they could sell some, you know, pre-cut meats. I'm going to, that seems like super like difficult, and I don't think that's how it's going to work, so I'm just going to put it back up with the other butcheries in B tier. But if the meat stand is substantially worse, like we do know, like the storehouse, the basic storehouse, simple storehouse, is worse than the actual storehouse. The simple storehouse can't contain certain foods, and certain foods will spoil quicker in a simple storehouse. Milking stand. Okay, so milking stand, milk, if dairy's good, it's going to be in there with dairy, and dairy's B tier, so by that same logic I'm going to put the milking stand in B tier. Mill, well, we already said that's kind of S tier in it, unfortunately. Oh no, it was A, yeah, because the bakeries are A tier, so the mills are A tier, and so are the granaries. Maybe the granaries aren't then. Yeah, I think I'm going to move the... Nah, I think the granaries are good in A tier, yeah. Potion shop, again, I'm going to say A tier because I feel FOMO, guys. Like, see when McCarthy says stuff about, you know, potion shops are going to be like the best, or like cemeteries are going to be like, who's ever's got a cemetery is like going to be like a god in the game. Like, that kind of makes me like want to buy one, man. But I just can't afford all this stuff now. But yeah, again, potion shop, large potion shop, potion stand, I think it's all going to be the same thing. Simple forge, forge is a forge, guys, B tier. Granary, again, let's put it up here with the other granaries. Simple storehouse, well, this is actually not as good as the other storehouses, and that is known. I'm going to put it at the bottom of S tier, but I think a simple storehouse is still going to be perfect for holding like perishables. You know, like if you go and find some gold, if you find some like cool ores and stuff that you don't know what to do with for a while, or you want to collect more of them before you sell them. Simple storehouse is going to be your best bet there. Stable, luxury good, get a horse. Good, definitely a good thing, but not a necessity. Storehouse, going to be S tier. Storehouses are S tier, I think. A tannery, I'm going to put that with the other tannery. A tavern, even the smallest one's going to be pretty cool, guys. I like taverns. Temple, I already said the other temples are down here, so. A tent, interesting. You see, you could sleep in an inn, guys. You don't necessarily need to have a tent to sleep in. A tent might save you some money. You can't build a tent off a plot, so you need someone. If you're far out in the wilderness, like, it's not like you can throw a tent down on the ground. It would kind of defeat the point of the whole, you know, building and land thing. So somebody with like 100 spaces in his inn would probably be cheaper than a tent originally, and only when the player base gets to the extreme size where like inns are charging crazy rates will a tent become super valuable. Given that information, and given this is the pre-release stuff, like what would be the best thing to buy pre-release? I'm going to actually put the tent in. Oh, but it's so weird to say that because then like A is like the inns. Oh gosh, maybe I'll put it 2 tiers below you then. I'll put it in C tier, guys. I'll put it in C tier, but it's pretty bad. I'd say like, of all the things you kind of don't really want, I guess. It seems like you do want a tent, but like where are you going to put it up, man? You're going to have to pay some rent in order to do that, and at the start of the game there's going to be so much competition where like people want to like slam down like a hitching post and like a woodworking stand and stuff. Like, I don't know, guys. Weapon shop, yeah, it's got to be C tier again. Weapon stand, same thing. Wood shop, again. This should be D because like the luxury things that, but maybe it's like a little bit better, so I'm going to put it in A. And a woodworking stand, C again. So that about wraps it up, guys. There's the full one. Bang. What do you guys think of my analysis? Did you guys like it? Hopefully it gave you guys some cool ideas on like what I'm thinking. My personal preferences, like as I said, guys, I'm thinking breweries are good, taverns are good. Like if I like taverns, I like breweries, kind of like go hand in hand. Storage is obviously amazing, and that's really the S tier, like a place to socialise and some cool stuff to like, you know, do in the social place. I guess drink. I'll even drink in real life, but yeah, I guess I'll be a maybe I'll even be an alcoholic dwarf in the game. I don't know. A tier kind of wraps it up. It's like all the essential goods that the first day you go in, you're probably going to want to pick up some basic supplies, the absolute most essentials, life and death, cemeteries, picking up on bread, and obviously the grains in the mills to make that bread. And then I've also got some potions in here. Maybe there's like some cheap potions, like some small health potions that can stop you from the severely punishing death. But ultimately, either if death is a big deal, potions are a big deal. They're really hyped up by McCarthy, so I'll listen to McCarthy on this one. B tier, barons, butcheries, meat stands, milton stands, dairy, and forges. All those things seem to be like super useful, cool things, and I know they'll have a big use case in the game, so definitely I'm thinking B tier on that stuff's right. All the like more like niche things, you're going to be an archer, are you going to be a sword fighter, are you going to be an axe fighter, or are you going to just be a guy who wears 2 shields and be like super defensive? Well, that's like going to like split the amount of people that are going to need it. Everyone needs to forge stuff, whether you're going to be the double shield wearer or the berserker with 2 swords, or sword and shield, or bow and shield. Everyone needs a forge, but not everyone will need the archery right away. Not everyone will need the, you know, potentially the armor stand. Maybe, I mean, maybe they'll go for leather. I don't know, guys. Actually, armor seems like it might be actually better. Maybe armor needs to be high C tier. Stables, again, like people don't want to walk across the old world. They will want a mount in order to travel faster. So stables are good, but you know, the first thing you buy when you go into the game, you're not going to go and buy a horse. You're going to get yourself some armor. You're going to get yourself, you know, a bed to sleep in. And you're going to check out the taverns, you're going to see who else is playing and have some fun that way. D tier, jumping the gun a little bit on the temples. They've been in since the beginning. Maybe they're really useful. I heard they heal you, so there is use case definitely. You go back to town, you go into the temple, you heal up. You go to the tavern, you fill up your belly. You go to the inn, you fill up your stamina or whatever depletes over the day. And then bang. You've got your stonecraft shop, hitching post, tannery, everything else in D tier. But ultimately, guys, like if this game blows up, like pretty much, even if you have like the hitching post, I'm saying you're going to be in a really comfortable position. You're going to have something of value that you can bring to this game and bring to the player base. And no matter what, I mean, there's something that somebody's not going to have, and whoever's got those things will benefit. So you can play the game for free. You can just join if you want to check out Gala Games. If you guys have never heard of Gala Games before and you guys want to check it out, there's links in the description. Sign up today and we'll become friends and we can play together once the game is live. If not, then yeah, just use this tier list and make up your own one. Thanks a lot for checking out the video, guys. Peace.